It's so easy to fall into that trap that is such a human thing. To hear somebody say something about you, people might try and group you into a category and say, these people aren't as good for whatever reason, and instantly it makes you feel like you're rubbish. There's nothing you can do about that because you can't change that aspect of you. You can't change who you are. It actually makes you start fighting who you are and wanting to be somebody different. You just think about it for the rest of the day. Hours and hours of your time just wasted on thinking about this one stupid thing that somebody said, a flippant comment that comes out of nowhere, that they say, they just put it out there, they've probably forgotten about it. For you, you're focused on it for the rest of your time. It's getting in the way of any happiness. You can't concentrate on things because all you're thinking is, I'm rubbish. Things like that that really affect you, that you know are kind of stupid, but you can't get them out of your brain. What I've realised is, people aren't always right. A lot of the time, we just assume that everybody else, if they have an opinion, it's fact. It's got to be because so-and-so said so. That's a load of rubbish. They might just say it and not even mean it. They might say it for a reaction or because they're angry. They might actually mean it, but it still doesn't mean that they're right. They could just be completely ignorant about your situation. They might not understand. They might not see things the way that you do. Just because they have an opinion, it doesn't mean that is the benchmark for your life and you should change yourself based on that opinion. We all say things about people sometimes, vague comments we think that no one could ever take to heart, but they do. And oftentimes we come away from them thinking, oh, I don't even know why I said that. Or somewhere down the line, somebody completely proves what we have always believed to be true completely wrong. There's always opportunity to prove any opinion that anyone ever has wrong. Always strive to do that. If somebody tells you you can't do something, the first thing to do is to take a step back and say, is that true? Even if it's true right now, is there a way that maybe in the future it might not be true? I might be able to do something about it. It's also a great way of just self-development. Instead of focusing on the negative thing that person said, think, what positive steps can I take to make myself feel better about this and to actually believe that I can do this? That person just didn't know what they were talking about. I've been in situations in the past with particular individuals where they've said one thing and I've got all stressed out and upset about that thing and it's taken up hours of my time and I've just thought about it over and over, tried to change it about myself. Now they're saying the complete reverse of it. And I wonder, why did I bother? Clearly what they said hadn't meant anything to them and they hadn't even really thought it through or meant it at all. It doesn't make any sense, but it makes you realise how silly these things are. Most of the time they're not true and there is nothing behind them. If I hear something that I don't like, think, does this person actually know what they're talking about? Are they educated in this area? Do I agree with what they say? Or do I know better than them? Because sometimes you might. We always put precedence on other people and think that they know better than us. Sometimes you know better than other people. Be confident in that in yourself. Take that time to think about it. Ask yourself those questions. Discover what you think about it. Find out if you agree or if you don't and why. It's just a way to make yourself feel more happy and to feel more secure in yourself and not try and question yourself, beat yourself up and ruin your own self-esteem because of something flippant that somebody said that they haven't put any thought into, they may not have even meant and probably isn't true. Just get to know yourself a little better, know what you think is true and what you think is right, and you know what? Your opinion is just as valid as anybody else's. Whether you share it or whether you keep it to yourself, don't just assume that because somebody else has said something that they're right and you're not. Give yourself a little more credit and do what serves you best. Don't let anybody else define your life or define you as a person. It's not worth it. You need to be happy within yourself. Don't let anybody else dictate what you can and can't do. As long as you believe that you can do something, the chances are you'll be able to. And if people tell you you can't and you just go along with that, you're really not doing right by yourself. Always try and remember that the most important person's opinion is your own. If you can find ways to be happy with yourself, your life might not be perfect. It's not all going to turn round and just be roses. I tell you what, it's going to be a darn sight better than if you hate yourself based on other people's silly opinions. Give yourself a smile and tell yourself that you're probably right for a change. You know yourself and what you can and can't do better than anybody else in your life. We're all searching our whole lives for other people to have faith in us, when actually, most importantly, we just need to have faith in ourselves.